Imagine your players are standing at a heavy oak door. They know there's something on the other side. They've seen the bloodstains in the hallway. They've heard the rumors in the tavern. And one of them says, I listen at the door. In a lot of modern games, that's a throwaway moment, a quick roll. Uh, you hear some growling. And the door gets kicked in, but in BX, in true old school play, that moment is the pivot point of the entire dungeon turn. It is a moment where the players choose to trade their most valuable resource, time, for the only thing that can keep them alive, information. Today we're going deep. We aren't just talking about a 1 in 6 chance on a d6. We're talking about information pressure. We're talking about how to turn the act of listening into a tactical masterclass that keeps your players on the edge of their seats and makes every decision in the dungeon feel like a life or death gamble. Let's start with the foundation. In BX, the dungeon is a clock. Every action has a cost. When a party stops to listen, they aren't just standing still, they are holding their breath. They are dimming their lanterns, they are staying silent, while the wandering monster clock is ticking in the back of your head. As a referee, you need to make them feel that weight. If they say, we listen, and you give them the info for free, you've robbed the game of tension. You have to enforce the procedure. Listening takes time. It takes a significant portion of a turn. Remind them the torch is half burned. You've been in this hallway for 10 minutes. Do you really want to spend another turn pressed against the wood? That is information pressure. It's the friction between the need to know what's coming and the fear of what might catch you from behind when you're trying to find out. If you aren't tracking turns, listening doesn't matter. If you aren't rolling for wandering monsters, listening is its flavor. But when those things are active, suddenly listening is a high stakes auction where the currency is safety. Now, let's talk about what actually happens when they roll that die. Now, I see a lot of referees, especially those coming from later editions. They treat the listening check as a binary wall. You succeed, you hear the orcs. You fail, you hear nothing. You don't hear crap. And that's a gotcha mechanic, and it's boring. Your job as a ref is to telegraph. I've done videos on this. You want the players to make informed decisions because informed decisions are where the skill of the game truly lives. If they walk into a room and get wiped out by a Medusa because they failed a 1 in 6 roll, well, that's not a story. That's a bookkeeping error. Instead, think of the listen check as a clarity filter. On a success, they get details. They hear the clinking of gold coins being counted. They hear the specific rasp of a giant spider's legs on stone. They hear a name being whispered. This gives them a massive tactical advantage. They can plan, they can bluff, they can set an ambush. On a failure, they don't hear nothing, they hear the atmosphere. They hear a low rhythmic thumping that might be a heartbeat, or it might be the building's old stone settling. They hear a faint metallic scrape that could be a sword being sharpened or just the wind blowing in a grate. Failure doesn't mean no information. It should mean uncertain information, unclear information, incomplete information. See, this creates paranoia pressure. Now the players have a choice. Do they risk opening the door with only half the facts? Or do they spend another turn listening to get it right? And now, this is the part that most referees forget. If the players are at the door listening, you're close enough for the monsters on the other side to hear them. BX is a two-way street. If the party is clanking around in plate mail, which they probably are, arguing about who's going to open the door or fumbling with their 10-foot pole, the monsters shouldn't just be sitting there like cardboard cutouts waiting to be killed. So I like to use the counter listen procedure. If the players spend more than one turn at a door, I roll for the monsters. Fair is fair, right? If the monsters hear the party, they don't just jump out and go, gotcha. They set their own ambush. They move to the side of the door. They blow out the candles. They put out the torches and the lamps. This creates a beautiful, symmetrical tension. The players are trying to glean info from the monsters while the monsters are doing the exact same thing to the players. Now, this is where the thief really shines. And I know people go, well, it's still the thief. I did a video recently on the thief. The thief isn't just a lockpicker. The thief is the silence specialist. They are the only ones who can move to that door with a high enough probability of not alerting the other side. And when you frame it that way, the thief's role becomes vital. They aren't just rolling a skill, they are protecting the party's stealth resource. So, how do you implement this in your next session? Well, first, get your turn tracker out. If you aren't using one, start. Second, when the players approach a door, ask them specifically who's listening and how long you stand there. And if they say, oh, we're all listening, tell them the noise of 5 people trying to be quiet is actually louder than one person doing it. And give a bonus to the specialist, but remind the rest of the party that their heavy breathing and creaking leather is a factor. And then third, use a sound layering technique. Layer 1, the environment, drip, wind, echoes. Layer 2, the inhabitants, chanting, eating, sleeping, sharpening steel. And layer 3, specifics, actual words, number of heartbeats or voices, direction of movement. You give them layer 3 on a great roll, on a success. You give them layers 1 and 2 on what you would call a failure. This keeps the world feeling thick and heavy. It keeps your players, your party, immersed. Information pressure is what separates a combat sim from a dungeon crawl. It's about making the players respect the environment. It's about making them realize the dungeon is a living thing that wants to keep its secrets and is willing to wait for your torches to burn out to do it. So go try this in your BX game, your OSR game, your 5e game, your 3.5, if people still playing it, Pathfinder. Watch how the players stop rushing. Watch how they start whispering at the table. And that's the magic of old school OSR play right there. Think about it. This is a collab with DM Angelo. His channel is linked below, and his take on this topic is in the video description. Give it a look. It should be a good one. Before you go, I have to give a massive shout out to the 220 plus. Last I checked, actually 227 minions, or aka members of the Tavern. You guys and gals are the ones that keep this channel independent and grounded in the old ways. If you enjoy this deep dive, join the community, subscribe, hit the bell, check the affiliate links down below. It keeps the Tavern's lights on. Until next time, keep your ears to the wood, your sword sharp. I'm Tenkar. God bless, and I'll talk to you soon.